Welcome to Jets Game Day presented by Audi. Here's your host, Eric Allen.
Welcome to Jets Game Day. Eric Allen and Bart Scott here in the studio. And season's greetings to you and yours. Let's bring in Brian Baldiner as always. Baldy, was Santa good to you this year?
Well, yeah, of course. I was a good kid. You know, I didn't get any lumps of coal or anything under the tree this year. I was all about ball, and I got rewarded for it.
All right, we are all about ball, and the New York Jets are staying in the division to finish the 2024 season. This weekend, it's a trip to Buffalo to face the Bills, and then they will finish the year against Miami at home.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about finishing with two of your division foes and opportunity to play spoiler. You know, both teams want something, and you can take it away from them. I mean, it's the perfect part of being the Grinch. You steal Christmas from the Bills in Miami. It'd be a great day for us.
Yeah, it would be a great day. Hey, listen, Baldy, last week, the Bills are on quite a run this season, 12-3, but they look quite vulnerable against the New England Patriots.
I thought they were flat. I thought they came out with no energy. They just played some big games back-to-back, put up 90 points. They look like, all right, here's the Patriots. We can just kind of roll the ball out there and go play. Next thing you knew, it was 14-0, and they were playing catch-up almost the entire day. So they almost let one slip away. They found a way to make a couple plays. James Cook, big touchdown run. It wasn't the same level of intensity that we had been seeing from that team for most of the season.
Baldy, let's bring some intensity into the film room right now. We are presented by Moody's as always. Garrett Wilson, he's going to reach 1,000 yards receiving for a third consecutive year Sunday in Buffalo.
Yeah, he is. And really, when you watch him, his releases are electric. His ability is to beat guys off the line of scrimmage, to be able to separate versus man coverage, and then his ability to adjust to the ball in the air, and then his ability after the catch. Let's take a look at this 3rd and 7 play, because everything that I just said is compressed into this one play. You can see the release right here by Garrett just to get separation. Makes it a lot easier on Aaron to get him the ball. And then immediately, as soon as he does catch it, like he's looking to make guys miss and to be able to maybe make a breakaway at any point. So he's always looking to score every time he touches the ball. And here he picks up 13 yards in the first down.
Every time I see him run a route, I'm reminded of Allen Iverson. He's got a killer crossover.
It reminds me a lot of Santonio Holmes. Could be an Ohio State thing. You can tell Brian Hartline really taught him a lot about the nuance and the subtle, movements of what it is to be a great receiver. He came in like this.
Last week, Bart and Baldy, the Jets culminated a 99-yard scoring drive on Aaron Rodgers' 499th career touchdown, which went to Davante Adams.
Yeah, and on the play, Davante's in the slot, and he's going to start on this over route into the end zone right here. But he sees a point where he's got to turn around, and he's got to be able to, realize that, all right, I see leverage right here in front of me, and I got to be able to double back, knowing Aaron's got the ball. Hasn't been released yet. The first rule right here is get to the back of the letters, because then nobody's behind you. And Aaron sees him and throws it perfectly. It's a combination of the catch and the feet, making sure both feet are in the end zone right there for that 499th touchdown pass of Aaron's great career. And really for Davante Adams to finish off that 14-play drive, that was impressive to give him the lead.
Bart, those guys know each other so well, and Davante, you see him working levels, and he finds space in the back of the end zone.
Well, it's the nuance, understanding that it was a bracket. They had 4 over 1 player, and he was able to go against leverage, and that's what they tell you to do. If somebody's there, you can't run through them, so he found the soft spot in the zone. He was able to piggyback and get behind. The great part is being able to make sure that he's inbounds, maintain control, and get 499 for his man.
All right, against the Rams, Breece Hall had 19 touches. He's dynamic out of the backfield. Here, Baldy, he converts a 3rd and long.
Yeah, he does. And, he's so dependable because once he gets the ball in his hands, he's got great hands. His ability just to square up with the defense and then find the leverage and be able to break tackles and break away like he does on this play. I mean, normally you throw it that short underneath on 3rd and long. You don't make a lot of these. But with Breece Hall, you have a good chance of converting the first down.
Hey, Bart, how about the way he splits the defenders there?
Mike Singletary used to call it the dead leg. He sticks the defender, squares up, creates space, and splits the defenders. That's next level stuff right there.
Bart, watch out for Breece the Beast in Buffalo. Coming up, we're going to put John Simpson under our Jet Spotlight.
This film breakdown is brought to you by Moody's, proud partner of the New York Jets. Welcome back to Jets Game Day, presented by Audi.
All right, John, this is your 5th season in the NFL. What have you thought of the level that you've played at this year?
This year has been fun for me. I just been, just letting it loose and just having fun. I feel like I've been playing very well, trying to be as competitive as I can every time I step on the field and just play my best ball.
I feel like it's hard for people to recognize when offensive linemen are playing really well. So for you personally, why do you feel like this year is maybe one of your better years or maybe your best?
I don't know. I can't even put a finger on it, man. I just feel like the chemistry in the room, I feel like it kind of allows me to play free. Like the bonds that I got in the room with all the guys, they trust me and I trust them, and it allows me to go out there and play to my best ability. And I hope I can give those guys that same juice. But yeah, I think it starts there. It's like the chemistry that I have with Tip, guys like Olu, Tyron, and things like that. Just having guys like that around me just help me play on another level, I guess. So.
Coming in new this year to the Jets, and there were only 2 guys that were the same on the line this year as last year. So you were one of the 3 newer faces. How hard was it to kind of find that chemistry and then really be able to just execute it on the field?
The chemistry was always there. I feel like once, whenever we all understood each other and started hanging out and stuff like that, and started just being around each other more, I feel like the chemistry was there. It just got better. I guess that if that's the right way to put it. But that was my goal before this whole thing started. I was just come in and gel with these guys and just go in, grind, and whatever happens. But we're gonna go out here and put our best foot forward.
So you brought him up, but you and Joe Tippmann have been the 2 really steadfast lines on this offensive line. You both have started every single game. He's only in his 2nd year. What have you thought of the way that he has just taken command of this offensive line group?
Man, he's got the keys, man. He's, like you said, young guy. He's in control, you know what I mean? And he knows what he's talking about when he goes out there. He never comes in and never is like, okay, what do I have? He goes out there and directs traffic, as some would say. For a guard, that's all you can ask for. You got a center that's telling you every word, everything you need to know. That's all you can ask for, and it allows me to play free, like I said earlier. And to have a guy like that, and not only does he direct traffic, but he put it in the work too. He's very physical, and he's a dominant guy too. So it's fun playing next to a guy like that.
So you guys have 2 more games left this season. The first one coming up, the Bills. Now they obviously have home field advantage. Do you remember the last time you guys played, or does that feel like years ago at this point?
I remember it, but it also feels like forever ago. It feels like a long time ago. They got some talented guys up front. It's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a fun one for sure.
Does the interdivision rivalry ever bring a different level out of you?
I think maybe it does. Whenever we play somebody in our division, it's usually a different beast. But at the same time, it's still it's still ball. And I'm just trying to execute as much as I can. But there is a little bit of a rivalry there that I kind of want to do my thing and show them who I am for sure.
We're a little obviously later in the season now, so they have home field advantage. They're 12-3. How do you help ensure that this offense puts on a better performance than Josh Allen and his offense?
Just executing, just doing finishing, getting drives finished in the red zone, and just whenever our name's called, just go out there and trying to put up 7.
There's been a lot of close games for you guys this year. What do you think has been your biggest takeaway and maybe learning lesson out of those?
I think the biggest thing is just just learning how to win. I feel like this year is teaching us we got to figure out how to close games out. We haven't done it, but I feel like this year right here is just a teaching moment for us for sure.
I know one of the big messages from Coach Ulbrich has been tape has no context, so you kind of have to put your best performance out there for people to watch. What do you want to show people who watch these last 2 games in your tape?
I want to show them that there's no quit in me. I want to show the Jets organization that they got a guy that they can count on we don't have the playoffs to look at this year, that I'm gonna give them everything I got and, just try to be as dominant as I can. Yeah.
Awesome. Appreciate the time, John.
Appreciate you.
This exclusive interview was presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today, or visit AudiOffers.com for more information.
Good stuff there with John Simpson. But let's flip it to the Bills offense, Baldy. James Cook, he's got 14 touchdowns on the ground this season. He got in from long distance last week against the Patriots.
Well, they were down 14-0, and they weren't doing anything on offense until James Cook busted his run and hit it down the right sideline, 46 yards. And what everybody has to realize about James Cook is he's a true home run hitter. Like, he can score from this distance like this regularly. He'll run away from your defense like he did against the Patriots in this run right here.
Bart, what are you seeing here?
Well, what I see is patience and him eyeing that backside linebacker. He sees the backside linebacker overflows, the backside guard gets him, he cuts it back, gets downhill, squares up, and then gets to the sideline like most great runners do.
The Bills got one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League in Josh Allen, and one of his top young targets is Keon Coleman.
Well, he's got size. And the one thing that Keon Coleman can do is he looks like he separates just because he's got such a wingspan. And, Josh Allen, he can get rid of the ball so quickly no matter what he's doing. And he finds Coleman right here for 17 yards. Like, it's just a stick throw to a big target. And they've connected a bunch this year. But let's face it, Josh Allen's going to throw it to the open player, whoever it is, wherever he is at on the field.
What kind of stress on the defense does the pistol formation provide, Bart?
Well, the pistol is tough because you can't see the running back behind the quarterback. So what happens is you're a little delayed as far as your reaction. You got to take your read step, but you really don't know which way it's going. So it makes you slow, so it sets up the blocks by the linemen because now they're one step faster and you're one step slower.
Coming up, we're going to hear what the Jets are saying about their upcoming trip to Buffalo.
Last time the Jets played the Bills was interim head coach Jeff Ulbricht's first game as a head coach in the NFL. Under the bright lights of Monday Night Football, the Green and White lost 23-20 in a game that was decided in the final 4 minutes of regulation.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was nerve-wracking. It was overwhelming. It was fun. It was exciting. It was all those things. Every emotion that you could imagine. I felt. Since then, I felt like I've settled in and I'm getting much more comfortable in this role. But yeah, it was definitely a whirlwind that night.
The Jets were able to generate a handful of explosive plays that game and will look to do so again Sunday against a defense that's allowed an average of 452 yards of offense and 349 passing yards over the last 3 weeks.
The first game, from an explosive standpoint, should have been enough to win. Obviously didn't get it done, didn't finish the game like we needed to, but at the end of the day, like we know, turnover ratio is a great indicator for winning and losing, but just as important is explosive rate. We need to do the same thing this week.
A couple Jets are on the verge of big milestones entering Sunday. Wilson is 13 yards shy of becoming just the 5th player in NFL history to have at least 1,000 yards and 80 receptions in each of his first 3 seasons. Aaron Rodgers is just 1 passing touchdown away from 500 for his career, and Breece Hall is 226 rushing yards shy of 1,000. And while the Bills' defense doesn't have the same numbers as the first 13 weeks of the season, Buffalo leads the league in turnover margin and is tied for 3rd in takeaways with 28.
Yeah, they certainly have some new coverage wrinkles and some things. I think they do a great job of making everything look the same pre-snap and then trying to change the picture on your post-snap. So they've added a lot of those wrinkles. We're going to have our work cut out for us, to identify those new coverages and make sure that we're efficient, getting the ball out and running the football.
Let's get into our great debate presented by HCL Tech. Who will be named the Jets' 2024 team MVP? We're not going to find out until next week, but I'm giving you each a vote.
Well, I'm going to the trenches, and I'm going to go right to John Simpson, who they acquired from Baltimore. I think he's been everything as advertised. We knew that he could be a great puller because he did that in Baltimore, but he's been dynamic in pass protection as well. And also, he's been kind of like the big brother, the enforcer. You see, when anybody gets in a mix, he's right there to defend his teammates. I think that's everything that a team MVP is supposed to be, and I got to go with him.
Man, I love that selection, Bart. How about you, Baldy?
I'm impressed by Bart going with the left guard right there in Simpson. He's been very consistent. But for me, I'm going to the other side of the ball. And I'm going to the middle linebacker, Jamie Sherwood, who, he stepped in for C.J. Mosley. been the leader of that defense, leads the team in tackles with 140 plus tackles, more than 40 tackles to the next closest guy, Quincy Williams. He's been everywhere. I feel like he's been the heartbeat of that defense, and he shows up every week. The game looks like it's really, really important to Jamian, and I hope that he gets the award this year.
Can you talk about Sherwood's jump?
Absolutely. You talk about the game slowing down from when I went out to training camp this summer. Antonio Cromartie, who was one of my former teammates, told me, hey, man, this guy's playing the best out of all the linebackers. And you talk about his ability for the game to slow down, his speed, but also him being able to anchor 9 tackles for a loss. The game is slowing down for him, and it couldn't come for him at a better time after being in the league for 4 years. The Jets are going to have to make sure that he's a top priority and signing him back next year.
Hey, gentlemen, we still have one more present under our tree. That's Game Day Predictions, and that's coming up next.
This was presented by the official digital transformation partner of the New York Jets, HCL Tech, supercharging progress. Get 100% verified tickets to every upcoming game at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Jets and the NFL.
Let's get into our Game Day Predictions presented by the New York Lottery. Baldy, I'm going to start with you here. The Jets will hold the Bills to fewer than 30 points. They were on quite a tear, Buffalo was, prior to last week's game against New England.
I think they have a good defensive effort left in them. They sort of know how to contain Josh Allen. They've taken the ball away from him in the past couple of meetings, so I feel like they can keep it under 30. And I don't know, if Aaron goes off and has a great game, maybe we can get that game, deep into the fourth quarter here to see if the Jets can pull out the upset.
Great transition there from you, Baldy. Aaron Rodgers' 500th touchdown pass will go to whom? He's at $4.99 right now.
It's probably going to go to Allen Lazard because I think the Bills are going to do a great job in taking away in the red zone, especially Devontae Adams. Remember what Allen Lazard was on before he got injured, early in the season. He was his go-to guy in the red zone. He's a huge target.
He feels like a lot of Rodgers' milestone moments goes to Lazard. How about Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams, Baldy? They will combine for at least 13 receptions against the Bills.
I think they'll go to the short passing game, much like we saw last week. Get the ball out of Aaron's hands and, get into the playmakers and let them do something with it. So I can see 13 receptions between those two right now. Right now, Garrett Wilson, he wants to go over 1,000 yards. This is a great opportunity to do it.
Bart, both running backs, Breece Hall and James Cook, will lead their teams in yards from scrimmage.
I would say Breece the Beast for sure. Cook, maybe not. I'm going to go with Breece Hall because I think this is one of those games where he gets a lot of checkdowns. Remember that the Bills play a lot of dime packages, which means Breece Hall should be able to eat. But also, they also play those dime packages in cover 2 to try and take away the deep plays and the huge plays, which Breece Hall can take one of those screens or one of those checkdowns like we've seen and make a lot of yardage out of it. So it's going to be a lot of space for Breece Hall because those linebackers and the nickel backs are going to get tremendous depth in there, trying to take away the big play, which giving away explosive play, Breece Hall has shown that he doesn't need to catch a deep ball to go deep.
Final thoughts here, Baldy. The Jets have nothing to lose. Buffalo probably is going to be in rebound mode. They won last week, but they didn't look good doing it.
Yeah, and they want to look good in front of their fans. So this is a great opportunity for them to kind of rebound and show everybody that they might be deserving of a 1 or 2 seed. So I think they'll get back on their game. But, this is a division game. These division games are usually close this time of the year. Just look at the division games played this past weekend in the league. Everybody knows everybody. They know their strengths and their weaknesses. But I think the Bills right here, they had put together a great win streak just before they lost to the Rams. And I'm sure they want to go into the postseason on a winning note. This is an important game for them.
Bart, I go back to that Monday night game earlier in the season. The Jets had a ton of explosive plays against this Bills defense.
Yeah, I mean, and we have a talented roster, and there's going to be opportunities. Guys just going to have to step up. I don't know how cold it's going to be in Buffalo. It can be a difficult place to play at times. The crowd noise, is college-like, their enthusiasm, but nothing better than silencing that crowd and walking away with a victory.
Happy New Year from everybody here at One Jets Drive and beyond. Enjoy your football weekend.